Okay, welcome back. Good afternoon, and still morning here. It's 11:30 out on the West Coast. It is 2:30 out on the East Coast, so Central Time. Also in the afternoon, 1:30 Central. So welcome back to the stream. Let's take a look at what happened while we were away. Let's check the S&P 500 heat map. And whoops, sorry about that. And still got some down stuff, got some red stuff going on. Got some green stuff going on. Tesla up a little bit. HD, Lowe's, Home Depot, Lowe's up a little bit. T-Mobile up a little bit. JP Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citigroup up. USB, PNC, TFC, all up in the banking sector. All of your techs, all of your semiconductor chip stocks are now down. Microsoft, Apple down. Google, Facebook, Disney, Netflix, Comcast all down. Tesla up. Some very selectable apparel, consumer cyclical, restaurants up a little bit. But for the most part, everything's down. Still have what we have going on in the market. Excuse me, my caffeine kick. All right, S&P 500 is currently down 12 points. We have the NASDAQ Composite is down 36, so a little bit of an improvement from this morning, and the Dow is now down only 80. And so our VIX has come down quite a bit, 19.8 on the VIX. Again, that was from, it got a high as 21.8 earlier today, pretty much right after, not long after the regular market opens. So about almost 45 minutes after market opened, it hit the low of the day as far as the charts go, and then a steady decline on volatility since then. So anybody that was going to sell some things probably got that out of their system. Everybody's waiting for tomorrow. Tomorrow you're going to have President Biden talking about his infrastructure plan, and we'll see what that's going to include, and we'll try and carry that live. I didn't know, let's see, Biden, Pittsburgh, speech time. Let's see what time he's going to talk in Pittsburgh. He's going to talk about COVID. He's going to talk about the stimulus. What to watch as Biden pitches massive infrastructure plan. Let's see here. Here's a local Pittsburgh station. All right. It doesn't say what time yet. Let's go to whitehouse.gov. Maybe they show it. Let's see. Help is here. Okay. Briefing room, menu. What the heck is this? What'd they do? What'd they do? Redo the whole thing? Nobody cares about the White House. Just get to... No calendar or anything on here? Seriously? Alright, this is about the lamest website I've ever seen for the White House. Briefing room, let's try that. Fact sheet. Okay, who knows? We'll figure it out tomorrow, I guess. We'll try and figure out. ARK Invest, I did not go back into ARK Invest. It is currently still a little bit lower. I should have bought it in again back in 2021. But I got out of that, and I had 1,000 shares of it, and I made exactly $180 on it today for a scalp, and that was buying in at 2015, and then jumping out at 2033, and now it's back up to 2028, so probably missed that. That's okay. All right, AMC is currently down 17 cents, down to 10.18. GameStop, however, is back up to 197. Remember, we have options expiration this week, ends on Thursday. All the options expire on Thursday because Friday the markets are closed. All right. Fear and Greed Index still that only updates once a day. That's at 44. Let's see what the ARK has done as far as volume. I think we're at 7.3 million before. 12.7 million shares traded. So ARK, Space Exploration and Innovation, EFT, is traded 12.7 million shares thus far today. And it's the first day it's traded. Be interesting to see if they have any cash in there at all. Let's see, ARKX. I'm still up on the day. I'm up about $1,180. Well, 11. Let's see. More account. Let's see. A couple of my accounts don't have any. There we go. I'm up 1655 right now. And losing. And it's starting to go down. I was up $7,000 at one point. But I have patience on this. S triple Qs. Jeez, what happened here? What did we miss? All right, here we go. Biden signs Paycheck Protection Program Extension Act, says bill bipartisan accomplishment. So Biden signs Paycheck Protection Program extension. Let's see what that's all about. Let's see here. Signs 2 months. That happened about a half hour ago. Here we go. All right. Paycheck Protection Program extension into law, word vomit, allowing applications through May. And that came out about 20 minutes ago. President Joe Biden on Tuesday signed into law a bill that extends the deadline for applying for a Paycheck Protection Program loan to May 31st. The measure was approved earlier this month by the House and Senate. The PPP, a COVID-19 aid program that provides forgivable loans to small businesses to allow them to pay employees even if the businesses are shuttered, had been set to see its loan authority expire on Wednesday. Okay. Senate, McConnell blames election-related confusion for Republican vaccine reluctance. No, that's not why. These banking giants are headed to major losses after Archegos debacle. Police departments, not taxpayers, should pay the bill for misconduct settlements. That's about the dumbest headline you can have. Police departments, not taxpayers, should pay the bill for misconduct settlements. Who pays the police department? Taxes. Facepalm. Stimulus checks to reach Social Security recipients who don't file taxes on April 7th. Okay. Volatility's going up a little bit. S&P starting to drift down a little bit. So Archegos, big egos, Arch is big, Archegos, meltdown, GameStop drama underscore need for more hedge fund disclosure. Reformers say the latest market turbulence comes as Congress is already paying close attention to disclosure rules. Not really. Okay. Unbelievable. And here's the problem. If you trade more than 100 million in assets under management, you have to publicly announce your equity holdings 45 days by the 45th day after the end of the quarter. But these 13F filings can be misleading because investors are not required to announce their derivative holdings or to say which stocks they are borrowing to sell short, a method of betting that a stock's price will fall. So why is it that I can enter in a limit order to sell something at a higher price or a stop loss to sell it at a lower price, and that's disclosed to everybody and their brother and sister, but I can't find out what the hedge funds are shorting? If I short a position, they know about it. If they short a position, I don't get to know about it. It's unfair. It's absolutely market manipulation. And we'll see what if any new rules come out of this, but I doubt it. Credit Suisse down 3.34% today, and Nomura Holdings down 2.2% today. Goldman Sachs is up. Apparently they didn't have losses. Morgan Stanley is up. Same thing with them. They got out before they had to. Viacom up 1.4%. It had a bigger run earlier. And Discovery also up 4%. And this is what triggered it. But Viacom's decision earlier this month to issue $3 billion in new stock catalyzed a slide in the firm's stock price, triggering collateral calls that Wang was unable to meet. Banks followed suit, selling shares in the firms Wang was placing long bets on, leading to a further collapse in the value of Archiego's portfolio. For example, Viacom shares, for instance, fell 27% on Friday, its largest single-day loss on record. Yeah, but they had also lost another 18% in the days leading up to Friday. That sort of market volatility and the large losses suffered by the investment banks that Wang dealt with, or Wang, whatever his name is, could have been avoided if the SEC were to update its rules to require that large hedge funds and other institutional investors disclose when they have large positions in a company through equity derivatives. So that is options or short positions, etc. If disclosure rules covered long synthetic positions, because remember, when you do options, if you sell calls or buy puts, you have to have collateral pledged, either cash or shares. In the case of like doing a covered call, they don't have some of these rules. The counterparties could all know of everybody else's significant exposure. So in other words, you could buy. There's no limit. If I had the cash available, I could buy 8 million options for a strike price on the SPY, the S&P 500, at $4,500 90 days out. And is somebody willing to make the liquidity to make that happen? The market makers, probably not, but it's certainly possible. So you have more shares at play in derivatives contracts, options, buying calls, selling calls, buying puts, selling puts, and selling shares short and borrowing the stock to do it, and that doesn't exist, and they're phantom shares, and they're getting away with it. And it's just absolutely because they have, because they can. Not that they won't, it's because they're allowed to. Again, Credit Suisse down 3%. NASDAQ down 31, Dow down 106, S&P down 14. Other block sell-offs of Archegos related shares are expected, but overall the fund's borrowing seems to predate recent central bank accommodation. The economic impact of this is likely to be very limited, according to UBS chief economist Paul Donovan. Unless you believe that this is not the only fund that's having this problem. Well, they say things happen in threes, right? There's something. 3 tax breaks most people miss. Explain on.
There are many ways you can try to reduce your tax.
Okay. Let's see. Here are 3 that you need to know about. Let's hear. Let's watch this one.
Tax bill. Unfortunately, they're wrapped up in a complex, ever-changing tax code, so it's easy to miss them. But here are 3 that you need to know about. When you file your taxes, you have two options for reducing your taxable income. You can take the standard deduction, or you can choose to itemize deductions. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017 raised the standard deduction and reduced common big deductions, like the deduction for state and local taxes. The result? Itemizing doesn't make sense for as many taxpayers. However, you may be able to claim some special deductions even if you take the standard deduction. Those are called above-the-line deductions or adjustments to income. Above-the-line deductions include some retirement contributions, business expenses, some alimony payments, tuition and fees, student loan interest, and half the self-employment tax. It's worth looking at all your possible deductions and doing the math. And if you do opt for the standard deduction, make sure to claim any above-the-line items that you can. Another thing people often miss is tax credits. Tax credits are different from deductions, and they're actually more valuable. A tax deduction reduces your taxable income, but a tax credit reduces the tax itself. For example, a $1,000 tax deduction lowers your taxable income by $1,000. That could save you $370 in taxes if you're in the highest tax bracket. A $1,000 tax credit saves you $1,000 in taxes. If the credit is refundable, it can even put cash in your pocket. To take a tax credit, you need to know you qualify for it. The U.S. government offers tax credits to parents of young children, low to moderate income earners, and people paying tuition, among others. The IRS website offers a comprehensive list of credits and deductions. It's worth reading over the list carefully to make sure you haven't overlooked some serious savings.
Was that two?
A third common tax mistake, not making the most of tax-advantaged retirement accounts. You may know that contributions to your 401k are deductible in the year you make them. But did you know that if you make IRA contributions between January 1st and the tax deadline, you can apply them to the previous year's taxes?
True.
As long as you qualify for deductible contributions and didn't reach your max last year, you can still contribute this year to reduce last year's tax bill. And since the payment applies to last year's taxes, it won't reduce the amount you can contribute in 2021. That's a win-win situation. And when it comes to...
Okay. Thanks for that. And maybe someone out there actually like that. I knew about all three of those methods already. What else we got here? Apple faces new competition complaint from Epic Games in global battle over App Store payments. Okay. And that's it. All right. Let's get out of that. And somewhat of a very quiet afternoon here in the markets. So we've settled into this range, being range bound, with a little over an hour and 10 minutes before close. The Dow is down 103. Let's take this out to a 5-minute. And since about 2 hours ago. So Dow's currently down 96. NASDAQ is down 30. Look what it did. Broke my line again. It broke my line. We drew that way back here, all the way on the 24th. Remember that? Way back when. Drew that line. Even when I drew that line, looking at where this was, check this out. That's a 5-minute. Let me go to a 15-minute chart here. And we were looking at this all the way back to the 5th of March or so. So let's go 5-minute again. And then the 50 and 200 period average on this literally came right to the line that I drew. So sometimes your technical analysis actually works out. And we'll leave that. I'm not going to extend that out. We can always see where that goes from there. But definitely some decent TA there. Oop, go back to auto. There we go. And then the S&P is down 12. And I don't know if let's go 15 minutes. Yeah, it crossed mine. Well, I drew it over here. So is there new support and resistance for the S&P? You know, keep in mind, right now we're on a day where the dollar still going up, and yet the indices are struggling to, you know, will they climb back to zero and possibly go green on the day? Too early to tell still, even though we have an hour left, right? But look at the dollar. You know, this is the 1 hour chart on the dollar, and let's take March 1st. Look at that. March 1st, we're at 91.01. So 91.01. 91.01 and a 93.3. So it's moved up over 2%, 2.17% since March 1st. So dollar's up to 93.30. The 10-year Treasury, which is more correlated to the market than the 30-year, okay, is up today to 1.728 yield. The U.S. Treasury is actually down to 2.399, but not down a whole lot, just a little tiny bit. And so now you have the Dow down 88 on the day. Let's go 30-second chart here and see what's going on right now. Okay. NASDAQ down 28. Bitcoin and Ethereum still up. Ethereum up to 1842. Bitcoin up to 58,858. Yeah, 58,880, right around there. So it's up a couple percent. Ethereum's up over 1.5%. AMC's down 9 cents. ARK steadily going up here. Look at the volume. Look at that. Straight line volume wicks. Hello, algorithms. Nice to see you. Good to see you participating in an open market. Yeah. Think that's being controlled? What do you think? How do you get these volume, this big wick of the 2029, and it slams down with just a little bit of down pressure and comes all the way back down to a floor? Crazy. It's like almost like, you know, how is this possible? Who's controlling the price? All right, GameStop up $18.82, up to $200 now. So it hit over the 200 as the VIX continues to go down, and the S&P's going up, trying to get green on the day. S&P's down 11, NASDAQ down 21, Dow Jones down 80. Palantir is back up its positive territory again at 21.78. I missed the buy-in on that, but I did scalp the ARKX, so I'm good for the day. Rocket down 10 cents on the day. Tesla up 16 cents. Again, we had positive statements from, even though yields are going up, the dollar's going up, and now the market looks like it wants to try and go up a little bit too. Tesla up $15 now to 626. My chair gets into ruts on the chair saver mat. Apple down $1.87. AMD $1.19. Boeing up $1.60, $1.55. Nice little move off. What's that spot on the day? 248.91. Nice. 248.91. Buy it into 252.07. Up 1.25% on the day. Ford, nice run up on Ford. Up 29 cents. What has that done for my option today? I'm up $50 on my option. Intel down 82 cents. Microsoft down $3.39. Just a lot of profit, and you got fund rebalancing going on too. Nvidia down $3.65. Triple Q's down $1.96. The SH, which is the short S&P 500, up at 5 cents, and the S Triple Q's, which is the Nasdaq 100 short, up 26 cents today. Oil, Brent crude up 41 cents. Light crude down $1.17 now that the Suez Canal is open again. Chevron down 78 cents. GM down $2.29. I want to show you guys something. We can look at something I might add in here, and I'll show you some of the scanners I have. And give this a second to load up. Apologize for the delay. Funny how everything is stacked up against the little guys. Yup. Okay, performance by sectors. And I apologize if this might be a little hard to read. So industrials, financials, and energy are leading the day today. And utilities, consumer staples, information technology leading the downside, and real estate and healthcare. Again, they extended the rent and forbearance and eviction date to June 30th now. So they're not going to throw you out of your house if your mortgage is in forbearance or you're not paying your rent. Again, the numbers that are missing are any of the investors that have their mortgage with a bank that isn't a government mortgage. So if it's not a Fannie, a Freddie, Department of Agriculture loan, etc. Why does it say copy of all these things? All right, so here's NEO, Bank of America up, Viacom, my S Triple Q's. Hey, my S Triple Q's hitting the top 10 volume. Look at that. I like that. Palantir up a little bit. SPY, Apple. Okay, so things that, well, I don't own Palantir. And the gap up, stay up is, get a lot of movement on that. All right, let's go to charts. Scroll that over here. Okay, move that back down. Come here. So GM up 236, Roblox down 205 to 64.99. Again, I would be very careful with Roblox about buying back into this. I mean, the chart and everything looks good, but the fact that it's brand new, just a few weeks here. Better prices at 60. Okay, SPY down 80 cents. Nasdaq taking a turn now, definitely moving up here. U.S. oil down 72 cents, so watch the map, heat map. Getting some green there. Tesla on a big move. Go back up to Tesla here. About to break out, maybe. I don't know about this infrastructure plan for tomorrow. The last time there was any type of, if the infrastructure is seen as only punishing companies and raising taxes and only being beholden to the special interest groups, call that, union type stuff, where they're only going to get the cash and they're only going to build stuff for unions and lock everybody else out like tech. I don't know how that's going to be perceived in the market, because I don't know how. I don't know how they're going to pay for that. Here we go. Usually if you see an MSN link, even if it's something like CNN or something, let me go back here. I use DuckDuckGo for a search engine. I look for stories that are not behind a paywall. Like if I click on Wall Street Journal, that may or may not be behind a paywall. It might give me a pop-out saying, hey, you have to subscribe in order to read this story. Or not. But after a certain amount of time, they will definitely lock you out of it. And it'll only be a pop-up. So MSN, you can get a lot of the Wall Street Journal articles and things like that if you hit an MSN link. They'll carry it within there. All right, Biden is aiming to pass a sweeping infrastructure and jobs proposal this summer package, which could cost between $3 and $4 trillion. Again, if they're going to do stimulus at $1.9 trillion, why didn't they just include that in that? Include this in that. Includes two pieces. One piece investing in domestic manufacturing, research and development, the caregiving economy. Okay. Climate infrastructure and roads. Climate infrastructure. What the heck does that mean? And roads, bridges, and rail. The second, aimed at childcare, paid family leave, giveaways. This is welfare. Childcare, paid family leave, healthcare, and education infrastructure. If passed, the bill could amount to a transformation of the American economy and may continue recovery from the pandemic, but there's still much to do to build support for the legislation. Biden is set to unveil the first part of that proposal on how to pay for it on Wednesday in Pittsburgh, with the second part to follow in the coming weeks. Wants to see progress on advancing the legislation by May 31st, Memorial Day, which gives them 2 months. Let's see here. Democrats are still having discussions about how they want to pay for the bill and how much of it they want to pay for. In other words, they're not going to tell you. Carefully thread the needle between pushing green energy initiatives, but not so aggressively that they lose Democratic Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia, a key moderate vote. Okay, Joe Manchin is going to vote for whatever the Democrats put in front of him. He's done. Do you know why? Because the Biden administration gave his wife a job. Yep, put her in charge of some no-name commission. So, in case you didn't know how that last deal got through, let's see. Manchin, wife, appointed, Biden. So if you think he's in it for his people, for his district in Congress or for his state, he's not. It's all a scam. Biden nominates wife of Senator Joe Manchin to the Appalachian Commission. Well, isn't that special? And this is from 4 days ago. Here's the thank you. Thanks for voting for the stimulus, Manchin. Thanks a lot, buddy. Here's your gift. Nomination to co-chair the Appalachian Regional Commission was included Friday at the bottom of a White House release. Friday dumps. They dump on Friday every single week. Every administration does that, though. On several appointments of similar panels. What does that pay? How much does that pay? Nowhere in the story is it going to tell you how much it pays. Unbelievable. All right, so let's look up Appalachian Commission, Control C. pay and compensation. See if we can figure out how much the, oh, here we go, look. Appalachian Regional Commission salaries, Glassdoor. I don't think it's going to tell us. I could be wrong. Yeah, that's not what we're looking for. So now you got to try and find all right, let's see here. Look at this. Miscellaneous administration program. My salary is $165,000, $172,000. You're not going to find this number. They're not going to tell you. Nobody's going to report what it is. Highest paid in the Appalachian Regional Commission. But it's not going to give you. Like, what does this guy do? Who's Scott Hamilton? Who's Earl Gold? What does he do? Yeah, who knows? So let's just say we know it's going to be higher than $165,000 a year. So Joe Manchin was paid off for a stimulus vote with a quid pro quo or quid pro Joe job for his wife. That's why he voted for the stimulus. And that's how politics works. Look at every spouse of every major politician, doesn't matter what party it is. Look at Nancy Pelosi's husband. Look at Kamala Harris's husband. You know, the whole 9 years, the whole 9 yards. You know, they're not going to tell you what this stuff is going to cost. They're not going to talk about how they're going to pay for it. Other than this right here, raising the corporate tax rate to 28% from its current level of 21%. So take all your stock prices down by 7%, basically. Okay. Internal debates of how much should be going on, blah, blah, blah. The president has a plan to fix our infrastructure and a plan to pay for it. But we're not going to tell you what that plan is on how they're going to pay for it. We're not going to tell you that. Oh, we have a plan. We know exactly how we're going to pay for it. Yeah, how are you going to pay for it? Well, you know, we'll let you know on that, but we've got a plan. All right. Keep lying, because that's what they're doing. All right. Enough of that. So your taxes are going up. Congratulations. Okay, Tesla, super recovery here for them. $6.7% up off the bottom. Nice. ARKX 2032. That's what I sold it at. I sold it at 2033 today. Should have bought it back down here, just 2021. All right, so we've got 50 minutes here before the market closes. What else we got going on here? U.S. consumer confidence hits 1-year high. House prices soar. We knew that. House prices. This story was interesting. And I was reading this. Try this one. Okay. Consumer Confidence Index jumps to 109.7 in March. Household employment measure rebounds. House prices surge on year-on-year basis in January. All right, let's see here. Conference Board's Consumer Confidence Index jumped 19.3 points to a reading of 109.7 this month, highest level since the onset of the pandemic in March 2020. The increase was the largest since April 2003. Confidence remains well below its lofty reading of 132 in February 2020. Economists polled by Reuters had forecast the index would rise to 96.9. So people are positive. While the sun's coming out, you're going to get the vitamin D. People are going to want to get outside. And as long as they end all these lockdowns, there's a chance it could happen. But again, you've got this issue that has to be addressed, which is rising dollar, rising 10-year yield on interest rates. The survey's so-called labor market differential, derived from data on respondents' views on whether jobs are plentiful or hard to get, rebounded to a reading of 7.8 this month from minus 0.8 in February. This was the highest reading in a year. The measure closely correlates to the unemployment rate, and the Labor Department's closely watched employment report. The rise fits in with expectations for a sharp acceleration in job growth this month. Non-farm roll payrolls likely increased by 650,000 jobs in March after rising by 379 in February. The government is due to publish March's employment report on Friday. That is true. They do plan to release that stuff on Friday. More stuff about the stimulus. Okay. Expecting an increase in income over the next 6 months, consumers expect their income to increase to 15.5%. All right. More consumers expected to purchase homes, motor vehicles, and major household appliances compared to February. Consumers' inflation expectations over the next 12 months increased to 6.7%, the highest since March 2011 from 6.5% in February. It appears that rapidly rising gasoline prices are starting to dampen confidence. Been saying that for a month. Said some lead U.S. economists at Oxford Economics in New York. While consumer spending growth is poised for a historic acceleration this year, the expected rise in inflation will act as a restraint. 9-month high on 30-year rate mortgages at 3.17, which is still historically low. I remember my first mortgage was at 7%. Here we go. Separate report for the Shiller showed that the S&P CoreLogic Case Shiller House Price Index soared 11.2% in January from a year ago, the fastest in 15 years after rising 10.4% in December. Robust house price inflation was confirmed by a third report showing the Federal Housing Finance Agency House Price Index shot up 12% on a year-on-year basis in January, after increasing 11.4% in December. A wave of eager buyers is being forced to act swiftly and face heightened competition for the few homes available. This is true, said Matthew Speakman, an economist at Zillow. Virtually everybody selling a house now is getting multiple offers on their house, except in very, very select areas where the market's going down. Most are going up. Most offers are going, in my area, anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000 above the asking price. And that's truth right now. Combined dynamic is pushing prices upward at their strongest pace in years, and it doesn't appear that there's an end in sight. Not through at least June, because they allow people to stay in their houses until June. They can't get thrown out. I don't think the Yahoo one's going to tell us anything different. I think it's the same story, word for word. How increasing real estate prices can elevate mortgage REIT performance. In a rising interest rate economy? Okay. This is right here, though. Check this out. Oops. Oh, no, block. According to the National Association of Realtors, there were just over 1 million homes for sale in the United States at the end of February, which is a record low. As a result, the median home price rose 15.8% year over year. The S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller Home Price Index reported a 10.4% gain in 2020. I got more than that. There's a massive supply and demand imbalance. That sentence right there. There is a massive supply and demand imbalance in the single-family home market as professional investors compete with home buyers fleeing the cities. I'm the perfect example of that. People are dying to get out of Seattle because of all the riots and everything else, and people are working from home, and companies are going to let them continue to work from home even throughout the pandemic. People will start throwing around terms like bubble every time an asset price has a large gain. It pays to understand that such things are quite rare. Well, they've been talking about these bubbles for 5 years now. The previous one was in the 1920s, and they require all significant players, investors, bankers, and government to believe an asset is special and cannot fall. The memories of 2008 are too recent for that to really happen. Real estate prices are rising because demand is greater than supply. That is a true statement to a certain extent. The only reason demand is greater than supply is because the moratorium on evictions and the moratorium on foreclosures. If you can't foreclose on somebody that hasn't been paying their mortgage, the bank can't put that house up for sale. They can't put it up for auction because some stupid judge is going to say, well, yeah, we don't care if you want to sell it. We don't care that they haven't paid their mortgage in 14 months now. You can't throw them out. But sir, I have my own mortgage. Well, I suggest you contact your mortgage company and ask them for a forbearance. Okay, great. So I can't sell my house in some states. Some states you can. But I'm going to ruin my credit because my tenant can't pay me my rent, and I can't throw them out because you say so. So my property rights are basically don't exist anymore. Demand is greater than supply. There is no supply because of this. Absolutely because of this. It's because of the moratorium. And if you are naive enough to think that when this moratorium happens and it expires, that you're going to have literally millions of people tossed out on their backside for not paying rent, that some of them I'm sure still work, and they're choosing not to pay their rent. And what they do with the money? They put it in a Tesla. They put it on Robinhood, and they're buying AMC and GameStop, hoping for their YOLO, their you only live once, instead of paying their bills, because the government allows them to not pay their bills. Okay. Once that comes falling down, what's going to happen? You have investors that have bought houses that are in forbearance now. They're going to have to sell. And I think a lot of them are going to have to. The small ones. We're not talking about the investors that do rental income as a passive income stream that might own 8, 9, 10 properties. I know there's one YouTube out there that buys properties and says, as long as you're in there and you pay your rent every time, I will never raise your rent. And this is very low income areas, and they pay their rent every single month because they'll never get their rent raised. So there's something about stability, because if you have to throw somebody out, there's costs in that. You have to get the court thing done. You have to get all the filings done. The filings have to be very specific. The people have to be served. They have to go possibly in front of a judge if they want to fight it, or they just move out. Then you have the condition of the property. You have to rehab the property to get it ready for the next tenant that you put in there that may choose to go in there. Happened in a house next door to me. People moved out, pandemic started, another couple moved in. They probably maybe paid 1 month of rent and then never paid rent again. And they were there an additional nine months before they voluntarily left. And they could have probably have stayed there. And there's people out there that will do it. And they went to work every single day. And they didn't pay their rent anyway. So, stay away. I would very, very much shy away from REITs even though they pay absolutely the highest dividends. I saw some clown on CNBC yesterday, and I'm going to call him a clown, because he was basically saying, buy Simon Property Group. Okay? All right? Inflation comes in. If we get into a recession, are people going to go back to the malls? Initially, they will. But you also have millions of people that have now been trained how to buy their clothes on Amazon, how to buy their clothes on Walmart online. Why do I need to go to a mall? If everything I want to buy I can get on the internet, why would I do that? So, malls have been dying for a long time, and this pandemic has pushed more and more people to online buying, even groceries. Why should I go to the grocery store? And I went last week, I went to a local store, and I did the self-scan, because that's the majority of all the registers now are all self-scan. I'm doing my self-scan, and the minimum wage, most likely worker or union worker, one of the two, comes up and grabs a can out of my bag of enchilada sauce and says, "Oh, Mike, yeah, he didn't scan this one." And I'm like, "I did scan it. It's right here. I got 2 of them, blah, 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 blah." The guys to come over here and da-da-da-da. And it's like, what are we doing? It's ridiculous. Why should I put myself through arguing with an employee at a grocery store that her entire job is monitoring the self-scanners to make sure people scan their food, their cans of food? I spent like $36 there. I got stuff that I prefer to have that Amazon doesn't. And it was just like, I never want to go back there again. I never want to go back to that store again because of that experience. And why would I? If I can buy just about everything else on Amazon, why would I go back to that store after they treated me that way? Like, basically accusing me of stealing. Why would I go back there? And then Mike, the manager, agreed. Yep, it's right there. You're good. Didn't say sorry. She didn't say sorry. No apologies. No nothing. Just is what it is, right? So I'll buy my food on Amazon. I'm not going to go back to that store anymore. And that store was Fred Meyer. And basically, screw them. And they're not going to get any more money from me because of what they did. But not only what they did, but they didn't even apologize for it. So if you do something wrong in life, do yourself a favor, do your loved ones a favor, apologize for what you did, as long as it's sincere. Make sure it's a sincere apology. They didn't like the fact that I told them that, yes, I scanned it. Here it is. It shows right on the screen. And she kept walking away, getting the manager, and I just kept scanning. I didn't care. And what, in hindsight, what I should have done was scanned everything, left it in the bags, and just walked out and gone over to Safeway or something. But I didn't do that. I paid and left. But I have no desire to ever go back to that store again. Like zero desire. And here I am telling the story on the internet, on YouTube and Twitch and Facebook Live. Why would I go back to Fred Meyer after they treat me like that? This is the same store, by the way, the exact same store that the corporation, the city government, the city, every city is a corporation. Did you know that? So the corporation town that I live in, okay, they did a little sting to catch shoplifters because the county I live in doesn't prosecute. They consider theft, any type of theft, a victimless crime. They break into your house, steal your stuff. They break into your car, steal stuff. They shoplift from a store. They're victimless crimes. So the city, on their city website, big brag story. Oh, the XYZ Corporation, the city of, did a sting operation at Fred Meyer, and they made 3 arrests, but they were also able to prevent 17 people or 15 people from leaving the store before stealing. I was like, wait, what? Time out. So you had 18 thieves in the store. You only arrested 3 of them that aren't going to get charged anyway. The prosecuting, the county, they're not going to charge them for the theft. and then 15 of them got a slap on the hand and said, nope, just get out. And if you come back, and they said, if you come back again, you'll be banned. So what did that person do? Those 15 people probably went down to Safeway a mile away and stole the stuff from that store that day, or went into Costco or Walmart and stole stuff. And it's like, there's no responsibility anymore, and there's no accountability. And so that store has basically lost my business for as long as I still live here, which won't be long anyway, because I'm going to take my money and I'm going to sell my house to somebody that's going to pay me the highest price. And I'm going to get out of Dodge. And if you own a house right now and you have the ability, this is not financial or legal advice or tax advice, but if you own a house right now and you are in a hot market, okay, if you are in a hot market, sell your house, dude. Sell it right now. Put it on the market, take that profit and book it. And if you can, and if you're okay with it, go rent a house for about a year to a year and a half. And if you rent a house for a year and a half, I'm going to take my money and I'm going to buy a house for cash. But if you rent a house for a year and a half, I promise you, in my opinion, real estate prices are going to come down. And they may come down big time. Before the pandemic, I think it was like 1.2 trillion. Now the Federal Reserve now owns $2.2 trillion of government-backed mortgages. They own the assets. Not Bank of America, not Wells Fargo. The federal government owns $2.2 trillion of real estate mortgages in this country. I don't know if it's the highest it's ever been, but it's the highest in a long time. And when this comes crashing down, and it will come crashing down, there's going to be a fire sale on houses. You're going to see a ton of foreclosures. You're going to see people walking away. Homeless populations are going to go through the roof because those same people that didn't pay, because they're going to be displaced, have to go start somewhere else. They're probably not going to have a job, and the economy is going to go. And that's going to be a year and a half out. There will be a delay as interest rates go up. You know, the 30-year mortgage rate right now, this is the 30-year yield on a 30-year bond is 2.385. The 30-year mortgage rate right now is around 3.13%, I believe. We just saw that a little bit ago. We got a half hour left before the market closes. So right now we have the Dow Jones, which is down 48. The S&P is down 5. The NASDAQ is up 2. So we are green on the NASDAQ. There you go. Tesla now up 3%. They're probably driving that for the S&P and the NASDAQ. So you have these mortgage rates that are going to continue to go up. But as real estate prices rise, because there is no supply, because you can't throw anybody out of the house that you're paying the mortgage on that's renting from you. And sure, some of those are legitimate. But what's going to happen when that moratorium ends? Here's what's going to happen. If the state that they live in, if those renters did not apply for any type of rental aid or stuff like that, when that moratorium ends, they're gone. They're probably haven't signed a new lease. And there's some states that if their lease was up during the pandemic, they can throw them out. But because of the moratorium, they can't get out. So the moment that moratorium ends, boom, you're out. The other side of that equation is, let's say you haven't been paying your rent. Let's say your rent is $1,400 a month. Okay, and we're now in April, so let's say you haven't been paying that rent for 13 months. Okay, well, it's over now, so yeah, you now owe us an additional $18,200. Well, I don't have that money. Well, what'd you do with your stimulus money? I bought GameStop. Did you make money on that? No, I lost 80% of it. Okay, so you have $18,200. All right, well, if you want to stay here, we got to sign a new lease. And we're going to take that $18,200 and we're going to divide that over 12 months. And so instead of $1,516, in order for you to stay here, you need to pay me $2,900 a month to live in this house. Well, I can go rent a house down the street for $1,200. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to move out. The landlord who has a mortgage to pay and has been paying his mortgage, or maybe he hasn't, or she hasn't been paying the mortgage over the last 13 months, and maybe that investment property is in forbearance, they're not going to pay. Apartment, same thing. Let's say you're paying $850 a month and you haven't paid rent in 13 months. That's $11,000. Okay? $11,000 spread out over 12 months is an additional $920 a month. So what are they going to do? That would be $1,770 a month, or they're going to walk out of that apartment. They're going to go down the street to a different management company or a different ownership of the next apartment complex, and instead of $850, they're probably going to get $675, right? Or maybe because there's going to be so many vacancies, they'll have to lower the prices temporarily. Or maybe they'll pay the same, or maybe they'll pay a little bit more. Who knows? But it's going to be better than $1,700 to make up that rent. Well, it's going to ruin their credit. Really? You think that's going to happen? That's not going to happen. They're going to come out with some bill that says anybody that is past due on rent, that you can't count that against them in their credit rating. Watch it happen. They will bail it out. It's the same thing with basic income, and you have people running around, and you think this isn't real. Here, watch this. Cancel rent. Hashtag cancel rent. And look how fast it is. It's going to take me less than 20 seconds to find these images. Took me 10 seconds to find that. Cancel rent, cancel mortgages, guaranteed homes for all. Call in to cancel rent. The rent was already too damn high. Cancel the damn rent. Order the cancellation of rent and mortgage debt. Cancel rent, Como. Cancel revolution starts at home. What cancel rent means for landlords. COVID-19 rent strike. Cancel rent. If you're concerned about being able to pay your rent, mortgage, or utilities, you are not alone. Call me. Governor Como, cancel rent. Cancel... What is that? I guess that's Spanish. I don't know. I can't read Spanish. Rent and Mortgage Cancellation Act. The revolution starts at home. Cancel rent. Cancel rent movement and evictions. If you don't think that they're going to come up and find a way for all these people that didn't pay their rent to never have to pay that money back, they will. And who assumes that loss? The person that owns the property. Small business owners. The same small business owners that may have also had a small business that people couldn't go in over the last year because the government forced them to close because of the flu or the pandemic, whatever you want to call it. The Wuhan flu, China flu, whatever. There goes my stream. I'm going to cancel my stream now, and that one won't show up in the search or the algorithm because I said that. Don't care. All right. S&P 500, again, looking at this stuff, we're now green on the day in some part, 1 out of 3 anyway. So right now we have the NASDAQ composite is now up 8.4. The VIX is down to 19.6. Dow Jones is down 43. And the S&P is down 4. So S&P might try for it too. So we got about 25 minutes left before the market closes. Bet that ARK is up to 40 cents now. A penny higher than what I sold it at. There's a candle. Look at this though. This doesn't make sense. What is all this stuff? No trades taking place. That's what it is. 13.8 million shares traded on ARK. ARKX. Let me go into where are we at? Stocks. It's all dark pool. There is nobody buying this stock. I'll show you. Well, actually, when I drag it up, you can see the index is really good. Dow Jones down 37, NASDAQ up 14, S&P down 4. Okay. This is the ARKX 1-minute chart. Look at that. Oh, green is good. And there it goes. It just popped back up now. 2034. Gray is in the time and sales over here is all of your dark pool stuff. But not moving very fast. 2033 by 2034, which is exactly what I sold it at. I couldn't get to 2034. Now I'm moving on the water. But I got to 2033. And today after the market, I get to go mow the lawn. And I have 2 power washers, but my main one, because of all the additives they put in the gas and the ethanol and stuff, it basically destroyed my carburetor. So I was taking apart the carburetor and taking it off of the power washer to clean it out, save it, refurbish it myself to get the power washer working again. And the cheap Chinese screws they put in there, one of the screw heads broke off. So I have to basically drill into the screw with a tool I have, and then put in this other one that will form its own, and then I'll be able to unscrew it and take it out, and then replace it and then get it going. Because I need to power wash my sidewalks. I live on a corner house, so I have the front sidewalks. I have the long corner sidewalk. I need to power wash those, and my concrete driveway, my concrete steps. I need to power wash my back deck, and all my pavers going out to the side entrance on the side street, that is. So I want to try and get some of that done this afternoon too, since the market has moved well against me now. How much am I down now? Let's see here. We'll come down here. There we go. NASDAQ up 2, S&P down 7, Dow down 65. Oh, I'm down $491 today. I was up 7,000. I should have sold it. All right. So ARK is at 2032. I don't plan on buying it. AMC down 14. GameStop up 1439, but not above 200 again. So it pulled back off of 204. What did it get up to? 204.30? And it was about an hour or so ago. Or a couple hours ago, sorry. Palantir back up to 22. I should have scalped that one too. Ah, man, I should have scalped that one. Kick. 2156. Right into 22.04 times 1 equals times, probably would have done 2,000 of those. Yeah. Would have been about $1,000, $960 if I did 2,000 shares, 2205. Would have been 44,000 into it, maybe. ARK still down 2032. So we'll see what happens to that one tomorrow and Thursday. I may buy back in it. I would be very leery about leaving. I'm going to be leery about leaving my positions open over the weekend, and maybe all of them. I haven't decided yet. We have a 3-day weekend. I don't think that there's any necessarily bad news out there. Let's see here. It's pretty quiet. Virus surges globally. Leaders call for pandemic treaty. Pandemic treaty is fancy words for you need a vaccine passport. We're doing shots, vaccinated or not. America wants to party again. Dire warnings amid immunization race. Case counts trend wrong direction. But if we have 100 million shots, why is the case counts going up? I don't understand. Stocks favored in reopening trade hit turbulence. Effective. Okay, not reading that one. Governor DeSantis. So this has to do with the rent thing. Governor DeSantis in Florida signs law shielding Florida businesses from COVID liability. Okay, what does that mean? Okay. Florida businesses soon won't be able to screen customers based on whether they received the vaccine. Oh, gotcha. Governor Ron DeSantis said money even as he signed a bill designed to shield companies from pandemic-related lawsuits. So what he's saying is that let's see what this bill says. This has nothing to do with the bill. What is this bill? They're talking about vaccines. They're talking about guns. They're talking about vaccination passports. And the bill is supposed to be, he signed some law shielding businesses from COVID-19 liability. And there's nothing about the liability in it. Stupid. Sometimes stuff is just done. Research finds 5,000 more dead. Okay. All right, let's see here. Amazon vote may spark more union pushes. That's a very entry-level job for most people working in an Amazon warehouse. And I'll just say that the narrative is going to be very easy to manipulate, and I think that thing's probably going to pass as a yes. And they're basically, half of them are going to get fired in the next 3 years. Not because of that, but because it will accelerate the robotic movement, like we showed earlier, of robots moving boxes instead of people. It's going to happen. Buttigieg says no gas tax, mileage fee to fund infrastructure. So that's what they're going to start doing. They're going to start charging us for every mile we drive, because if you have a gas tax and a lot of people are going to be moving eventually to electric vehicles, they need the revenue from somewhere. So they're gonna increase utility taxes because they're gonna want to get all that money. You buy an electric car at home. I want to buy an electric car and get enough solar panels to recharge batteries that can then recharge the car. Go figure. Part of my buy a Ford Mustang Mach-E for free. Okay, S&P heading back down. VIX is heading up. That put me positive on the day yet? Let's see here. I'm up $2 on the day. So hopefully you all are up more than I am. And that includes my ARK little mini win I had on that one, on that live trade. We'll try and do that at least once a day. I think we'll try and do at least one trade a day, even though I'm just scalping. All right, GameStop up 1552 to 1552 to 196.52. Palantir up to 2205. Rocket down 57. Tesla up 25.43. Apple down. AMD down. Boeing up. Ford, nice jump for them, up over 2% for them. And I didn't check any news on that. I know my options went up on that. First quarter vehicle sales up 8.9% as cars spend less time on lots amid chip shortage issues. True. Okay. But inventories are going to be a problem. Well, it also means that they don't have to discount. They don't have to offer rebates. Good luck. You're not going to find much of a rebate going on right now when there's chip shortages in automobiles. They're getting full price for everything. So that looks good for Ford, GM, Tesla, etc. Tesla was out there double charging people, by the way. People that used a debit card with Tesla apparently got double charged, and some were having trouble getting their money back. It'd be nice to have a debit card account where you have all that money in there. Well, I guess I do with all my margin and stuff. I got more than enough. I could buy a few Teslas with what I have. Nvidia down $1.73. Triple Qs are up. S&P 500 short is up 5 cents. As triple Qs are up 21 cents. So why am I down? Hold on a second here. I should be up today because I'm in options. So the sentiment on the infrastructure bill is that as the market continues south here a little bit, we'll see where we're at heading towards the close. Again, we're gonna have, we called this thing yesterday. We said we're gonna have a lot of volatility this week, a lot of this. That's exactly what's happening. You can't take advantage of it if you scalp. We have this kind of volatility tomorrow. I'll probably do quite a few trades throughout the day. And I want to build up a little bit more. Even though I'm up on the day, I'm up a little bit. Like pennies. Oops, wrong account. Yeah, about $100. Yay. All right. Let's see what else we got here. NASDAQ positive. NASDAQ is up 0.9. So basically flat. S&P barely down 9.8, a quarter of a percent. And the Dow is also a quarter of a percent, down 93. So all three averages almost flat on the day as an overall number. Should have seen a little bit of Ethereum is up and Bitcoin is up. I might look at ARK either in the after hours this afternoon or in a pre-market tomorrow morning. So we'll see if I pick up some more between now and when the market opens tomorrow morning. I may not, but we'll see. We'll see. Still lower than what I sold it at, so. This is the one I missed. That is the one I missed. Kick. Great support, great resistance over here. Broke through that resistance over here at 21.75. A huge upside from there. What did that thing go up? $2.25%, 48 cents. Yup. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Coulda, shoulda, woulda, but didn't. All right, let's see if there's anything else here news-wise. I doubt we're going to get any kind of... you're not going to see any buy-side or sell-side imbalances. That ain't going to happen. Canoe Inc. slumps after Roth Capital downgrades. Yeah, Canoe apparently came out and said, yeah, we don't have any revenue. Or they weren't making any money like at all. Reuters breaking views. I don't know why I clicked on that. All right, there's a nice change. There's a big dump. Look at that. 10 minutes to go in the market. Look what happened to the S&P. Just dumped. End of the day dump. It dumped. The NASDAQ dumped. And the Dow just dumped 50 points. And just like that, I'm up $1,200. Whoop, nope, more. Gotta have patience in this market. I'm up $12.75. Gotta have patience. Same thing happened yesterday. Remember yesterday? It ran back up. It ran up during lunchtime. Today it didn't really run up during lunchtime. It came back after lunch and had some retail buyers come in. And then literally 10 minutes before the close, bam. Bam. Market go down. Crazy. Ooh, hold on. Oh, ARK didn't dump. I want to buy it back. Like I said, I'm gonna look at ARK, and I'm gonna look at Palantir in the aftermarket. That's a risky buy still, based on today. Doesn't look so bad there. There you go. Go out longer, and your justification says, "Oh, I'm on an hour chart. Well, that looks great." Take it down to a 3-minute, and not so much. Convergence MACD saying an immediate sell on the MACD on the 3-minute. Hasn't cut up to the candle. If I go to a regular candle, it'll probably give me there's a sell. There's a sell on a normal candle. Had a MACD crossover on the same candle. So that would say short it right now. On ARK, nothing, just flat, no volume. All right, let's see if these are coming back in here. Quick little poppity pop back up. Ahead of Friday's pivotal labor market report, Wall Street will get its first glimpse of how many new jobs the private sector created. After an underwhelming 117,000 gain in February, ADP payrolls are expected to have increased by 550,000 in March. You have 2-year, 5-year, 7-year, 10-year TIPS and 20-year bond settlement. Pending home sales most likely contracted by 3% in February as rising mortgage rates continue to choke demand in the housing market. I did see a friend of mine in that industry made a post about the moratorium, and they're starving. If you need a mortgage and you have a good mortgage broker, or if you're a veteran or no veteran in California that needs a good mortgage broker that works fantastic with veterans, let me know and I will hook you up with the referral. This guy's fantastic. He used to work for me down in San Diego when I used to live down in California, and just a great guy, totally different business. Got out of that, started helping veterans. He's a former veteran himself. He was in the Navy, and or he can put you in touch with somebody for he's not going to take you to the cleaners. All right, let's see. Mortgage applications down 2.5% from prior. At 7 a.m., that's what they're predicting. All these numbers coming out for Friday when the market's closed. That equals risk. That equals volatility. All right, let's see here. 6 minutes left. Another dump just now. Up 1,500 on the day. Up more than that. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that drop. That's a 30-second chart. Volatility just jumped. Volatility in the last 15 minutes has gone from 19.5 to 19.9. Now I'm up big time. That is a late day sell-off, folks. Up 2,800 on the day. So you have to train yourself for patience, and I call it market maturity. And the hardest thing to do is to leave your emotions at the door while you're waiting to see what happens, because you know your strategy is correct. And what I made yesterday, like I don't even know what I made yesterday, $3,500, whatever it was. And we're looking at another 3,000 today. This is what happens. There you go, volatility back up, 19.9 still, the VIX. And again, this is just S&P volatility. Let me go back to my Heikin Ashi. Sorry about that. These candles are better for trading consistent buy-sell signals, but it's kind of a mess to look at. And so I like to smooth the Heikin Ashi. it's just a pretty cool looking representation. All right, flattening out here. 4 minutes to go on the close. And I hope you all had a good day today as well. If you're watching me over there on YouTube or Facebook or Twitch, drop a hello in the comments or ask a question. I might be able to answer it. I don't see any questions today over on YouTube. So we'll probably end right after the close here today because I got stuff to do. I got to go. I got to go. All right, so now we have the NASDAQ down 45. Slight recovery here with 3 minutes to go. Not enough to turn it positive, though, on the day. S&P is now down 20. And the Dow is down 166 on the Dow. So look at this. We'll come back to this after the, well, it ain't going to matter. I'll be gone. 2027 at ARK. What's Palantir? 2198. It was just at 2196. Came back. It didn't throw a buy. Still on the sell on the 3 minute. I'll look at that after hours. I'm hoping there'll be a little bit more volatility and things will go that way after hours is what my hope is. And I could be wrong, and it could completely go the other way. Back up to 1390 on my triple Q shorts. See, here's the difference. The QQQ goes down 0.86%. The S triple Qs, which I don't own shares anymore, but I own the options. My options on those today, on my S triple Qs, I have 200 call options for April 16th at $14. Those are up 8.7% today. And my S triple Qs, 150 contracts at $15 for the short, the S triple Q, is up 4.46% today. And that runs, I'm up about 3,000-ish total across everything. Let's see here. $3,055 I'm up today, including my scalp. See, that scalp was going to save me. All right, 2 minutes to go. 1 minute to go. Oh, why are we watching this one? I want to watch the NASDAQ. Little jump. Okay, 144 on the Dow. It just turned positive. Not positive. It just turned up a little bit. Still down 143. NASDAQ down 35, but coming back. You're watching the NASDAQ here. We got about 30 seconds before close. And so my gains are going down now. Just lost $700. I'm only up $2,300 on the day. That's a good day. 3, 2, 1. Ding, 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 ding. Market close, wherever we end up. Okay, on a down spike. Dow down 100 points, NASDAQ down 14, S&P down 12. And let's see where the futures are going. S&P futures down 8.5. NASDAQ futures still showing down 72. Dow futures down 88. Let's go to the 5 minute or external on the and I want to see. So I hope you made some money today. I want to look at what ARK's doing in the after. Up 2 cents. Whoa! Up 6 cents. That looks big, don't it? Look at that. What the heck was that? That volume is equal to buyer's volume over here. That was a big jump to 2034. Holy cow. Buy on close. Market makers manipulating there a little bit? I think so. There's your open for tomorrow. 2034, huh? All right. I see ya. Palantir. Down 10 cents, 21.94. I think Let's see if it dumps down to 21.75. And that's a very quick due diligence there. We'll see. S&P, where Tesla ended up at on the day. Tesla up $24 to 635. Rocket down 60 cents. Palantir up on the day. GameStop up on the day. Cinemark up on the day. AMC flat. 10:35. Are they doing anything in the after hours? Down 6 cents. They end up at 0.00 on the day. Apple down for the day. AMD down. Boeing up $1.49 for the day. Ford up 32 cents. Nice move by Ford, 2.6%. And that's on car sales for the first quarter being up. There's AMC going down a little bit. Leaving on Tesla, what are they going to do in the aftermarket? Microsoft down $3. Nvidia down $3. Triple Qs. Now again, the dollar, DXY, up 33.6 to 93.283. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Again, tomorrow's going to be another volatile day. Be prepared to strap in for that one also. And must have been my million share buy. Sarcasm. Thanks, dude. You knew that I wanted to buy some more, so you said, "Oh, I'm going to jack him out of this trade. I'm going to go buy it and cause it to go up in the after hours, spike huge. Everybody else will jump on it, and he won't get shares." All right, good enough. You're absolutely right. I was watching it down here before I came back on stream, and I should have. I was thinking about it, but I didn't like where the market was going, and I held off on it. But there'll be other opportunities, and maybe not. I will go back in and buy it. It looks like now. We'll see what happens tomorrow in the pre-market and the overnights, but it's definitely got a little action, and that could be some funds going in and buying it too. But that's interesting. Right there. That whole thing there. Look at that. Holy cow. Should have held it. Hey, I made $200 on it. I'm happy. All right, cool. And Palantir, it's down a little bit. All right, I think that is going to do it. Sell off at the end there with 10 minutes to go, but then a little tiny mini rally there at the end to have it come back a little bit. All right, hey, thanks for hanging out. That's going to do it for today. We will see you all tomorrow morning. And have a great afternoon. Have a great evening wherever you're at. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Joseph. I'm Crypto Sonar. Have a great evening. We'll see you all tomorrow. Bye now.